Sharing with you one of my most favorite string art. It is very simple and yet very elegant. I really loved the silhouette of Queen Nefertiti and wanted to turn it into string art. I'm using a 12-inch by 12-inch pine board, which I sanded down really well. I stained it and then hand painted the silhouette. I'm using golden nails, and because I was not going to do string art on the black portion, I will just be putting nails on the golden portion of the silhouette. I am putting the nails close to each other because I like a full and dense look of string art. Closer the nails are, the denser the look is going to be at the end. But we are going to make sure the heads of the nails are not touching each other because then it will be very difficult to loop the threads around the nails. Once I was done with the nails, I started threading. I put a double knot on the bottom right nail and started threading vertically. I'm using a DMC Diamante metallic gold thread. It's going to look very pretty at the end. So I'm going to make 3 to 4 layers on each section so that we have a very dense look. After doing my first vertical layer, I'm going to take the thread from the bottom left to the top right, and my second layer is going to be diagonal. After filling this section diagonally, the third layer I did was horizontal. Even though the shape is uneven for a proper horizontal or vertical, we are going to try and make the entire section as full as possible in the same way we are going. So after doing 3 layers, I moved on to my second section and filled the entire section in the same way. After filling all the sections, what I did in the end was make sure that the top layer was the same for all sections. It was either horizontal or vertical. So I think the last layer I did was vertical for all the sections, and it gave a very uniform look. When we are doing string art, one thing we like to make sure is that the thread is pulled really tight. If your thread is not tight, it's going to get loose after a few days, even weeks, and then you'll have to probably do it all over again. I generally do not loop my thread all around the nail before I go to my second nail, but it can be a very good idea that you loop the thread around the nail if you are a beginner, and then you move your thread really tight to the second nail. This will make sure that the thread does not come undone, and because generally we use an 18 gauge head which has a very tiny head, the thread might just pop out, but if you loop it properly, it will just stay put with the nail. Right now I'm using a 16 gauge head which is going to keep the thread in its place, and I am making sure that my thread is really tight so that it will definitely stay tight forever and it will not jump out of the nail. Once I was done weaving the thread on all sections, I made sure the top layer was even for all the sections, giving it a uniform look. Once I was done with entire weaving, I really loved the look, and then I started snipping the end of tails a little bit short, not so short that I could not glue it, but just enough that I had a bit of thread with me that I could take, glue it either around a nail or merge it with the threads around it. I like to tuck it either under the nail or under the threads so that the ends of the thread are not at all visible. One of the fun things I experience is when people come and look at my artwork, they pick it up and they do spend a lot of time looking for the end of the threads. And they always ask, from where did you begin it? Where did you end it? We cannot figure it out. Now you can take any kind of glue. Right now I am taking Mod Podge, but tacky glue, even Fevi-Stick works really well. If you have any image you would like to turn into string art, you can partially or fully convert it into string art. If you do that, do make sure to leave the picture in the comment section. I would love to see it. If there is a string art you have seen and you would like to know how it was done and you want me to make a tutorial on it, do write that in the comment section as well. I would love to hear from you, any kind of comments you have on these tutorials, and thank you for following my channel. I will be back soon with another string art. Thank you so much. Goodbye.